Welcome to the Stress Reduce Fat Loss Podcast. I'm your host Ken Sylvan, and I'm ready to have my brother here. This guy, Dr. Adonis.
Buddy, yeah, it's great to be here. We've known each other for a very long time. There's no doubts about it, and I'm honored that you invited me here today, and I thank you for that. And let me tell you how magical today came for me. Because I was contemplating back and forth whether I was going to do this beautiful opportunity. Not because I didn't appreciate it, because I'm not sure whether I'm ready with Truthful Medicine to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. So of course you invited me, and I meditated. And then the confirmation came, particularly when it comes to how I live my life. I live my life trying to understand the messages that's given to us by the infinite field of intelligence, the source, the universe. So as I was meditating for confirmation, the numbers came to me. Today is November the 1st, 2022. For how I see the magic of this universe, numbers have a lot of meaning, significance. And being November the 1st, which is 111, because November is 11, today's the 1, so 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. 3 is very powerful in my existence. Anytime the number 3 comes, I'm very attentive, very focused. And then of course being 2022, it's 2 plus 2 plus 2. Now 1 is all about anchoring the energy. It's all about just anchoring the energy to be upright, to be imprinted in the physical. That's been repeated 3 times. And 3 is all about Trinity for me. And 2 plus 2 plus 2, 2 is all about unity. It's about bringing people together. Yes. It's about community, right?
I love it.
And plus we got 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. So we got 3 plus 6 equals 9. And 9 is my power number. So the mere fact I got that beautiful, wonderful, insightful knowing to come here, and I'm here with you, I'm excited. I'm really excited, so I thank you for that.
No worries. Yeah. When you explained it to me, I was like, I know, as you taught me a lot about numbers, sacred geometry, different things. I said, I knew that was powerful for you. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, there's no way to say no to that.
Yeah. There's none whatsoever. And I took my day off, and I rescheduled my patients.
And I appreciate that, because you're very busy.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, but I'm also blessed to be here. So I thank you for that. Thank you.
And today we're going to be kind of diving in and talking about truthful medicine. Okay, what's missing from your patient's healing and transformational process. We're going to be talking about that today. Diving in, there's a lot to do with truthful medicine. I'm very excited to go through that. But for us, let's just kind of go back take a step back. Tell all the listeners out there a little bit about yourself, because you know what, people always want to know, well, who is this person speaking? What right do they have to speak about these things? Where do they come from? And I know for you, there's a lot of letters and things and learning behind you. So let's just speak a little bit about, some of the things you've learned along the way, and, some of your background that people say, what's this guy's background?
Good luck, eh?
I know, right?
First of all, I'm very blessed to have the academic training, but we also need to recognize that learning comes from many levels of our existence.
Absolutely.
And for me, I don't say this for sympathy, but again, it's all about finding meaning and purpose with everything. But on November 13th, 1983, a 36-year-old woman crossed. I was 14. It was my mother. Mm-hmm. But something shifted inside me, an awakening, a knowing. First of all, that knowing told me that she is fine. There's more to life than here. And also, those words were kind of sharing a message for me to trust the equation, learn how to trust the equation, and understand this is part of your path. So after that, of course, I had a strong desire to understand what just happened here. Mm-hmm. Cancer. There's no way this should happen. Mm-hmm. Deep down, I knew that this was not in alignment with who and what we are. So I went through my life journey just trying to understand how I was going to serve, how I was going to help humanity, how to really encourage people to come into their true nature. Mm-hmm. And along the journey, it's just that inner voice, that guidance, that intuition. And that's something that I really try to encourage people to really connect with, their intuitive knowing, particularly when it comes to honoring their healing journey. So I found myself going through life, and then, of course, I went to undergraduate, University of Victoria. I studied exercise physiology. And then I had the opportunity to make a decision whether I was going to go to medical school or to chiropractic college. and of course the guidance towards chiropractic college. And then I came here to Toronto. I studied, and then I was ready to go and start helping the world.
That's how I met you.
But ironically speaking, during that time, I learned a lot about my own truthful medicine. I went through a time that allowed anger to get the best of me, and I was dealing with a lot of angry people. I dealt with my cocaine addictions. I dealt with my alcoholism. But it's all beautiful. Because again, that inner voice deep within myself kept telling me, learn to trust the equation. For what you want to do, right? Trust why these experiences are happening.
You always taught me that. It's one thing we've always said, sitting on your the patient table many times in tears.
Just telling us, listen, go deep within yourself, no matter how difficult things are, no matter how uncertain things may be, right? Just learning how to go deep within yourself to connect with that inner voice, that guidance, will help you find that courage to move through life. So anyways, through my life journey, I went through all these unique opportunities, and then I learned a lot about myself. And then cancer came into my life. And when cancer came into my life, I'm very fortunate that I had the experiences of knowing that we exist on many different levels. Yeah. We're not just a human being. We are multiple dimensional beings. And we have the physical body, we have the soul, and of course, spirit, or the creator, which is us. And that really reminded me really who and what we are. And this is how truthful medicine unfolded. Through my personal experiences, going deep within myself, healing, freeing myself, also at the same time carrying that wisdom, that knowing through cancer. And I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here. That's all there is to it.
And then some.
And then some, yeah.
And, you know, like, we've obviously condensed a whole lot of experiences in that little, we just said there, but so many things I've seen, and even coming to you as a patient myself and saying, you know what, not just, great, I have issues with my joints, but I have issues with my skin, I have issues with my digestion, and giving me different ways to look at healing, giving me different ways to approach healing, not just, sometimes was supplemental, sometimes was stretching and movement, other times it was like vibrational therapy, using vibration, using sound. Sometimes it was numbers, sometimes it was energy healing. For a while, teaching me, obviously being one of my Reiki masters and certifying me to be a Reiki master. All those things I think allowed me to keep moving and healing, but then that also washed into my clients, and teaching them to use those things and using energy work on them and, using food as nutrition on them and listening to that. And there's always a line that you always say, and let's see if you're going to remember it. And you say, the feedback, or said, what our body tells us is the biggest way of understanding, or it's our biggest way of, how did you say it?
Listening to the messages of your body, innate intelligence.
No, but it's like, what did you say? It's like, it's a powerful feedback. Our feedback from the body gives us the answers of whether what we're doing is correct or not.
Oh yeah, okay. That intuitive.
The treatment itself is the powerful.
Yeah. So the treatment itself is the most powerful teaching tool. I'll say that again. That's what it is.
I don't say it as well.
Yeah, no, it's all beautiful. The treatment itself is the most powerful teaching tool because each individual is very unique in how they're wired. Mm-hmm. And I always encourage a person or a patient to be really open to the teachings that I will share with them, and to allow them the opportunity to see what we can bring in for them to really help them elevate, to shift into this from this situation. And part of that journey is to learn along the path. And I've learned very quickly that anytime you implement something with someone, the body, the soul is going to tell us messages. We listen to those messages. Mm-hmm. And this is how we learn and we adapt. So like, for example, a very simple way with the work that you do, know it quite well that when you start repairing the digestive system, that your client will more than likely go through a bit of a detox. And things may become exacerbated. Yeah. Their skin might break out. They might feel nauseous for a couple of days. They might even feel like they're having flu-like symptoms. The lack of awareness with something like that to bring to the client's attention, to understand that the body will have these messages, will actually discourage a lot of people. Because think about it, you're going through a detox. I'm here to come see you to work on my digestive system. Sorry. And then, of course, I'm feeling like, what is this guy doing? My skin is breaking up. But I've learned to really empower patients and students with that statement. The treatment itself is the most powerful teaching tool. And besides the fact that basically you start implementing something from a functional medicine perspective to start shifting the body, you're going to start having the opportunity to learn that there's other things that will come to the surface. As you know, with some of the work with the liver, okay, its primary energy, its chaotic energy that it holds there is anger. So you start putting somebody through a protocol to start regenerating their liver, they're going to start feeling anger. Like, where's that coming from? It says, and I tell them, remember what I taught you. We exist on many different levels. And that really empowers people, okay, more so than other. Because it reminds them, like, I'm beyond the physical. I'm an eternal being. I'm a spiritual being. I've got a lot of abundance and power and knowledge within myself. And you're going to learn how to unlock that through your journey, right? And the journey will teach you a lot of things if you pay attention to it.
That's a big part. And I think learning that from you and from other great people allowed us to kind of bring this transformation mentorship together, and teaching students how to become stress-reduced fat loss practitioners. And we were actually gracious to have you in the class once, which was awesome as well, which was great to, come in and do that.
I love that.
But, that was one of the things that helped us build this program, was understanding that the stimulus and then waiting for feedback and making adjustments based on each client. And that gets that individuality. That gets, we're not going, let me just charge ahead and just keep going. But some clients need to go right, some need to go left.
100%.
And that's listening to them. And I think that's, if anything of their coaches or nutritionists or practitioners or anyone out there, that's the biggest, I think, takeaway point is that what he said, the teaching itself is the most powerful diagnostic tool. Did I get it right?
Or teaching tool. So you always get it right, but there's nothing is wrong. Don't worry about it. But 100%, but there's one thing for sure to acknowledge this. Every single individual will go on his or her unique truthful medicine journey. That's right. We need to acknowledge that. We need to respect that, right? And we need to also acknowledge the fact that with each individual that comes towards us, right, for us to hold space in a loving, supporting way and to acknowledge their uniqueness, their brilliance, will further add another layer of confidence in their own personal journey.
Which allows them to stay on it.
And
time is the thing that we all need from healing.
100%, yeah.
So we've thrown out the word truthful medicine, one word, by the way.
Yeah.
Many times. So if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about what truthful medicine is. We know when it started. I said, but what that is, and it's let's talk to us about that.
Okay. Good for you with the one word. This came to me, truthful medicine, when I started practicing about 15, 20 years ago. And then when I started losing control. Truthful medicine's mission is to awaken as many souls, for those who want to receive such teachings, to remind them of their true divine nature, right? That we are multiple dimensional beings that exist on many different levels at the same time. The more truthful we become to who and what we are, the more we're going to start realizing how really powerful we are. In a very humble yet beautiful way, with a sense of responsibility, you are the creator. These are the teachings that have been shared for thousands of years. Even in today's validation through quantum physics, we're finding such a truth. But more so, this truth is coming from my own personal experiences, right? And in order for us to rise on this planet, we need to start with one soul at a time. And it's interesting because when I kind of remind people, and I say the word remind because we actually know everything before we come here. Part of our journey that I believe is for us to remember who and what we are.
I like that.
Thank you. And once you're able to remind people of their divine nature and how much power they have, it's something shifted in them. It's just this elevation. It's like this sense of hope says, okay, thank you. All right? And I'm very fortunate. I do a lot of traveling throughout the world. I work with a lot of people, with a lot of different communities. And it's just about bringing the people together that have a common goal to rise, to elevate for all of life on this planet.
And you kind of hits on something there, working with different people across the world. If we don't mind just touching on there's different pieces. We've all taken different pieces.
Yeah.
We've studied with different people, you being one of them, and brought together a system.
Yeah.
In truthful medicine, you could obviously make a list longer than than whatever, right? But give us some of the places and
Yeah.
things that, like I know we know some
Thank you. Yeah,
things
no,
together, but let's talk about that. What are some
Yeah, yeah.
places you've learned, or
It's-
tools that you've taken and incorporated and twisted and turned and made your own?
You're good at asking questions. Good boy. Good job, man. That's it. Well done for you. It's interesting because when I first started practicing, and then I started having my own internal struggles, and I started losing control, I had this desire to find the answers. So I went throughout the world. I've studied with a lot of different Aboriginal groups, communities. I've studied with Benke, this guy, this brilliant Amazonian medicine man. I went to Japan for a while to study with some really great people about, the mystical arts and mysticism. Tom Brown Jr.
Yes.
Tom Brown Jr. is interesting. When I was going through my alcoholic equation, and I was sitting and meditating, trying to find my answers. Okay, what do I need to know? And when you put the energy out there, the universe will make sure you'll get your answers.
Absolutely.
It's brilliant. It's to be aware, to be awakened. And so then I came across Tom Brown Jr. I go, Tom Brown Jr. And I remember the first time this happened. There's a place called the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, primitive camp. He's a very brilliant man when it comes to understanding how to survive in the woods with pretty much nothing, and also how to coexist in a very shamanic way with Mother Nature. And the first time I walked in there, I walked into the primitive camp, I walked in deep into the woods, and I really surrender. And I heard the words, all female voices, welcome back, Adonis. I go, who just said that?
Yeah.
But of course, knowing quite well that's how we are communicated by Gaia through so many different ways.
And for people who don't know, they say maybe listening who don't
Yeah.
know what is Gaia.
Gaia is Mother Nature.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, she's this planet. She invited us to come here. Think
remember
about that.
I remember when you went into multiple times. You're telling about Tom Brown. You told me about
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, I need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
need to
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I still haven't gone because we had some change in the last couple of years that prevented
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But we ended up doing a great.
We did a great time away. It was, 3 weekends ago?
Yeah, up in Bangkok
Yeah.
with Sandy,
It
one
was-
of my great friends, and she works for Be Elite, one of the other businesses I'm with.
Yeah.
And we went and spent some wild time out there building debris, sort of debris huts.
Yeah, debris huts, fire.
Yeah.
It was nice, the community we created with yourself, me, your son, and your wife.
Yeah, it was
Wow,
awesome.
it was nice.
And learning how to survive, to be in nature, be there. There's a different calmness coming out of being in nature. And I remember my son was having, it was a tough week for him for different reasons. And I remember him saying, I'm at peace out here.
Yeah, that's exactly because
You know?
I had that conversation with him and I asked him, how you doing? He says, for some reason, I feel peaceful. I says,
14
"Whoa."
years old, no
Yeah.
cell phone, no nothing.
Yeah.
And that, again, what does that do for the body coming out of a weekend like that? Like I remember even watching you, boots off, feet on the ground, grounded to the earth. I'm like, I want to do that. I need to do that.
Could have done it.
And being grounded is an amazing thing. Walking through the forest, looking at the moon, doing different things. That's all stuff that's part of healing. And I think we negate that equation so much. And we're not saying that food, nutrition isn't important, but there's so many other things that
Well
come
done.
with that, right?
Yeah, look, we're multiple dimensional beings. Okay, to think about this. You can have somebody, a client who really is focused on his eating habits, follows things to the T, takes the right supplements to repair certain systems, understands the importance of the body's meant to be in motion, honors restorative sleep. But if their mind is filled with a lot of chaotic energy, if they're so disconnected from really what life is all about, if they're so fixated on, to achieve a goal, but at the cost of their happiness and their well-being, all the other stuff, the food, the supplements, it's not going to be successful. That's how powerful the mind is.
That's right.
And Mother Nature reminded me really how to elevate my mind.
You know what? And that's an amazing point when you think about it, because if we can create stress. I remember looking at some of the challenges I had in my body over the last 15 years, and I realized that some of it was actually food, but I realized a lot of it was in my brain, how my brain processed stress, how it perceived pain, how it perceived reality, and that's how my body dysfunctioned. It wasn't necessarily anything else. The food came second, right? And I remember once everything, supplements, food, everything's on point, and kind of my body wasn't moving, still having skin challenges for those of you who know me, immune system challenges. And I remember you coming and doing a certain energetic treatment on me, And I remember looking in the mirror the next day, and my face was all discolored the day before, and the next day it was like one pigmented color, and I was like, I've been doing energy work already then, but that opened my brain up on a different plane, like how much it affects the physical as well. Because when your mind's in the right place, if we can create the disease in our brain, if our brain's in a great place, can we not push it the other way?
100%, 100%. If I can share an axiom, a well agreed upon statement that's been passed on for thousands of years. It goes like this: the all, capital ALL, which indicates the creator, is mind. The universe is mental. I'll say that again. The all is mind, and the universe is mental. This is from the Hermetic teachings. Hermes, who is this divine being from thousands of years that brought all these enlightened teachings. Now think about that. Knowing quite well that the all, the creator, encapsulates everything, which is you, what I believe. Knowing quite well from our, even today's in quantum physics, knowing that there's this infinite field of intelligence, this eternal living mind, brings us to the knowing that the universe is mental. So our mental capacity, how we see, how we interpret our existence will determine everything, particularly your health.
Yep. I remember we talked once and you said, Ken, your words have power. Remember I said this thing, my parents always told me never use the word hate, right?
Yeah, for example.
And you're an advocate of always reminding me that as well. And I remind my kids that way and everything else. But it's more than just the word, it's a vibrational
100%.
change. And who was the doctor that he did
Dr. Emoto.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And he talked about, different studies with water.
100%, yeah.
So for the viewers who maybe, I don't know if anyone out there has heard of his teaching, but maybe just touch on that just a little bit, if you don't mind, just talk about how they can incorporate that or how they can even spin into their life. Why is vibrational, maybe how we speak and everything else affecting our own health and in essence our patients and clients' transformation and their function, right?
Interesting. Well done for you. One of the ways I wanted to bring in the teachings of Truthful Medicine today is focus on the principle of vibration. Another Hermetic teaching. Everything is vibration. Everything. Even the couch that we're sitting on, okay, it's in motion. But because it's so slow, the vibrational rate, it's hard for us with our physical senses to see that. Mm-hmm. Now, the principle of vibration will affect everything on your existence on all plane. The example that you use, or Dr. Emoto's work. Dr. Emoto, a brilliant scientist, created this wonderful experiment. He had these Buddhist monks meditate in front of these columns of water. And then afterwards, he would take an electron microscope and scan the molecular arrangement of the water. He found that when the Buddhist monks were able to hold the energy with their thoughts, happiness, for example, or peace or love, this beautiful, sacred geometric pattern unfolded within the water, within the water structure. He also found out that if you had the Buddhist monks meditating with anger or hatred, the arrangement of the crystallization of the water molecule, right, is very fragmented. So that he was able to show very clearly how our thoughts affect our physical reality. Now, think about this, the word hate. For me, what I feel, when people use the word hate, I can feel this discordance of energy. Very unsettling.
And most people are, but you're more aware and in tune with the energy.
Yeah, but you know what? I believe everybody can. I will say this to my patients and my students. What I can do energetically, you can do the same thing.
So you're not freaking Superman.
Yeah, I'm not. That's it. I just have the confidence. I just have the confidence and the courage to go deep within myself, to acknowledge my truthful medicine, and to bring this to my life.
I've always said I wanted to steal your chi and just
that's hilarious.
We won't get up.
That's the first thing. What do you want me to teach you, Ken? Teach me how to steal people's chi. I said, no. Okay. So Dr. Emoto's work was able to show very clearly with our thoughts, it can affect the physical structure, the arrangement of the water molecules. The word hate. Most people say, I hate today. It says, do you really hate anything? Or I hate the weather. Do you really hate the weather? Right? Or I hate this piece of meat. It's so easily imprinted. And people use the word hate without really understanding the power of their words. And hate creates this very kind of unhealthy kind of fragmentation in the energetic field. So bringing your awareness, what words you use is very important. Let alone where you bring your awareness with your thoughts, right? So for example, when I was going through cancer, which was a beautiful journey in the end, I would never use the word cancer. So listen, no. My body's out of alignment. I'll look forward to understand what needs to be done. I'll go deep within myself to honor my truthful medicine, and I will rise to get myself back into balance. Because the word cancer has such a negative connotation.
For sure, and you're pulling all those connotations into your
100%.
environment.
Yeah. So it comes right down to vibration. Again, in truthful medicine, what I've learned is this. When your vibration is elevated and it's contained and grounded and it's in alignment with all levels of your existence, supreme radiance, health, abundance, wealth, knowing, peace will rise. Most people, because of the lack of awareness, vibrate in a very low, chaotic state, very disconnected. And this is something that we work quite a bit with Truthful Medicine, with the principle of vibration.
All right. So let's dive into some pointer, because I know a lot of students or coaches, rather than that, they're a what are some things I can take away and move with this? They're getting some basic things, but I know one of the things we talked about is become the director of your life, not a pawn. So let's talk
100%.
about
Well done. Okay. From my experience, what I've learned is this. We got a very powerful mind. Mm-hmm. It either can be your best friend or your worst enemy. The question is, are you going to acknowledge what needs to be done, the discipline, the commitment to really come into the power of your mind? And at one point, when I was going through my addiction, and if anybody dealt with addictions, they can relate to this story, I was predominantly working from what's called my lower mind.
And addictions, remember, addictions aren't just to, alcohol or drugs.
No.
Addictions to sex, addictions to, your physicality, addiction to gambling, addiction to
100%. Well said.
Like certain, abuse. Like we can have addiction to all kinds of things. Right?
Ironically speaking, the top 10 addictions in North America are all legal.
Yeah,
Think
sugar.
about that.
I had a major addiction to sugar.
Yeah. That's interesting. So basically, when it comes to understanding that when I was going through my addictions, I was predominantly working from my lower mind. The lower mind serves its purpose. It has that instinctual drive to ensure that we survive and propagate. But it working without the brilliance or the wisdom of something called the higher mind, right? This is where we create a lot of suffering, right? Because we don't allow ourselves to bring the wisdom, the moral values, the energy to really be in balance or really guide, what needs to be done, as opposed to allow the lower mind to predominantly work. So one of the things for anybody that works with anybody out there that really wants to really self-master themselves, work with the mind. Work with elevating the mind, discipline the mind, learn how to understand there's different layers to your soul, one being the higher mind and the lower mind.
Give us an example. Give an example of working with the higher mind. Like for someone who's just coming into this and listening to this, what's maybe one simple thing they could do that would be working with the mind that you would say?
Meditate in silence.
Okay.
Meditate in silence.
So not a good playlist.
Yeah. Because meditation comes in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Okay. But meditating in silence is the way to have the opportunity to just allow yourself to receive that inner voice. And then when you receive that inner voice, listen to your body's messages. Most people, when they connect with the higher selves, they get this elevated vibrational frequency throughout their body, right? Some will see white light. You'll know, all right? But if not, find somebody that will teach you how to connect to your higher self. Okay. But meditation is very, very powerful to do so.
Okay. Number 2, you talked about you are the creator. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for everything, or that premise of
100%.
We're responsible for everything in our life, in our existence, and that can go to so many different conversations. I can even hear people out there say, "What do you mean? Like, someone hits me a car or whatever." But let's talk a little bit about us being the creator and being responsible.
Okay.
Our responsibility.
Yeah. Thank you. One of the it's been validated many, many times for us for what I'm saying, whether it be the ancient teachings or modern day quantum physics. You are the creator. How you live your life, how you carry your thoughts, your emotions, right? How you connect with certain people, right? You will create your existence. And I learned this very early in my life. Like at one point, misguided cops came into my life, okay? And of course, a misguided friend too at that time. Yeah, I'll take full responsibility. Yeah, I was manipulated by a small group of police officers and a particular individual. Yeah, I made decisions that weren't for my highest good. But then I realized after I was able to go deep within myself and just settle within my thoughts, I go, oh my God, I'm responsible for this. How did I come to this point? And then I realized I allowed anger or arrogance to control my decisions, the lower mind, right? Mm-hmm. So that's something that came really strong when I went through that particular point in my life, and I really was able to rise above. And this is a really powerful teaching that I share with anybody. It empowers you, right?
So even the clients, if clients or patients are thinking, you know what, it's difficult. It's a whole different mindset to say, I'm in control. I am the creator of everything in my existence. Right away, you feel very different with how you run your life in terms of your, even, I don't like to use excuses, but how we talk about things. Yeah, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I created my day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I create my day the night before. I write things down. I create it, manifest it, and then it never runs away from me, right? So then a lot of times if clients or patients start believing that way, that can exist in so many different things.
100%.
How do I create my health? How did I create these challenges? How do I change them? You can go on forever, right?
Well said for you on that part. And well done for the work that you've done and the dedication to understand that you're the creator. And it comes right down to a really simple premise too, right? Are you predominantly working from your higher mind? That the most wise aspect of your soul? Or are you predominantly working from the instinctual part of your soul, the lower mind, right? And that's where vibration comes. So there's things like I do on a daily basis to ensure that I'm predominantly elevated with my higher mind, whether it be my rituals, my meditations, whether it be breath work, for example, whether it be the type of foods I consume, even how I connect with water, right? Restorative sleep. It's all bringing that high, that vibration to really elevate a very healthy, very empowered state.
So it's almost like an intentional living.
100%. Well said.
Intentional living. That's, in Carnivore MD, I said, way out there, I said, I listened to some of his stuff. Even Liver King would love to have you on the podcast one day. Liver is king. That's a whole nother podcast. But they all talk about intentional lifestyles, right. Intention in how you eat, move, the decisions you make, the energy you kind of cultivate, who you spend it with. All those things kind of create almost like a steamroll effect and build in your life. And I remember you explained that to me many times when I was discussing it and saying, yeah, Ken, now's not forever. Work on these things. And over time, health comes. It comes back. You'll heal. You'll get there. And absolutely, sure enough, there it is, right?
Well done for you, and well bless you now.
Number 3, open yourself to the intuitive brilliance.
The innate intuitive brilliance. And it comes right down to this. Again, are you working predominantly from your higher mind or from your lower mind? This is my truthful medicine. All I can do is share my wisdom and give you the keys to find your own truthful medicine. Okay?
And when you say that, what do you mean? Like explain.
This is my truth. This is based on my personal experiences. This is the wisdom that I've gained.
So everyone will have their truthful medicine.
100%. So for me to say to you that you are the creator, most people won't resonate with that. They won't.
Yeah.
But I said, listen, let me tell you what I've learned from my own personal experiences. Let me share these stories. Let me give you the magical keys of the tools to understand how you can come to knowing that you are the creator. Right. To find your own truthful medicine.
I think that resonates with a lot of people finding their own, because their path is like
100%, right? That's no that's about that. Now, in regards to what you talked about, the innate intelligence. Interesting, because I had a patient yesterday. It was a really good example, and he's going through some interesting situation in his health. And he said to me, he says, I can't believe this. Says what? Says, I decided to pick up a glass of wine. I brought it towards my mouth. And this voice told me, no, that's his innate intelligence. We have wisdom. Think about the soul. This is how I see the soul. The soul is that individual spark of the divine oneness of the creator. So a good analogy I always use, this fist signifies the all, the creator. The individual spark is your soul, my soul, your kids. You're the creator. Within that soul, you have a lot of wisdom, a lot of guidance, a lot of power. Mm-hmm. And I've learned how to really, through my teachings that I received and my own personal experiences that I gave my wisdom, so really honor on a daily basis to keep working with my soul. It has guidance. It has wisdom, right? Like, for example, at one point that when I was going through the cancer, they were very adamant about chemotherapy and radiation. And I said to them, listen, I know this is how you see things, but it's not in alignment with me, right? says, I feel there's other paths for me to embark on, right? And thank God I have that confidence with my higher self, because I can see how people can be easily influenced to make decisions they don't want to make,
especially if you're operating at a place, you said, more of a survival place.
100%, and that happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
People make a decision based on the fact that they're consumed by fear and survive without taking the opportunity to go deep within themselves, to sit in silence, to listen to the wisdom and the innate intelligence of your body.
And no shame, if you're someone out there, you have clients that have felt that, or you felt that, there's no shame in that. We're not saying there's shame in operating that place. It's just understanding that there is a better place to be.
100% well done. And that part also has its purpose. Remember, I told you that instinctual part of your soul, of your mind, it has programs to ensure that we survive, that we propagate, right? But knowing quite well, we're also spiritual beings. We're meant to access our elevated self, right? There's so much more for us to really understand about who and what we are. And once we're able to access the wisdom of our soul, you go through life with magic. You'll hear divination messages. When you implement something into your body, if it's not resonating, your body will tell you. You listen to that. Okay? You'll have these prolific dreams. Many times I had dreams about, take a look at this particular product for my health. There's guidance everywhere. There's wisdom everywhere.
Just listening and being a part of that. Tuning into yourself. And lastly, you looked at find beauty and love in your life. So you said tomorrow. So we were talking with Alyssa. Well, we all know Alyssa's amazing. So she's on the other side of this camera right now, and she'll be in front of it one day. But we talked about tomorrow and what tomorrow may or may not bring, right? So,
Ken, like I said, what I've learned on November 13th, 1983, who knows if tomorrow will come for anybody. Ponder that one. Think about that. So I've learned in my life that first of all, I've got no more fear. I know that we're eternal beings. I know this is one part of my existence. I look forward to what will come my way. But I've also learned to acknowledge and respect how fortunate and how blessed I am to be who I am and what I am, and to live the life that I have. Just like everybody else, I'm trying to find more meaning and purpose. Just like everybody else, I'm still dealing with uncertainties and challenges. But I've learned something. Every day I create magic in my life. Because again, who knows if I'll be here tomorrow? Yeah. So every day, in a very simple way, look at the simplicity of life. There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of peace. When it comes to understanding that in a very simple way, there's beauty. Right now, you and I are having a conversation here. We're sharing stories. You wake up in the morning, I play with my cats. I do my rituals. I'll make the effort to go talk to someone because I want to get to know somebody new. I create communion and relationship with my food. Thank you, food. I love you. I talk to Mother Nature. I go for walks. Anything that elevates my energy.
And with that, all that happening, there's other things that could be happening that other people can focus on and say, wow, your clients are 20 minutes late, freak out. But I think being able to practice focusing on those things is the thing. That is the tool. That is when you can do that and someone goes, oh, I didn't know, I don't know, maybe your landlord's being a jerk or maybe this is happening and you're still having that beauty in your day, that's the power. I think that's
Thank you so much for that. And it's really, because a lot of people find that very unsettling, particularly if you're going through a time in your life with a group of people. For example, when I was going through that time that I was facing 12 years in jail, my girlfriend that time could not understand. She says, what do you mean you want to go for a workout? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You still want to go out dancing? I go, listen, says right now, I'm aware of the circumstances. I'm going to work towards what needs to be done to rise from these circumstances and to really evolve for a much better version of myself. But also, I'm going to still live my life.
I freaking admire the shit out of that because, like, in that situation, or in situations similar, I felt my system just crumble, and it's like the ability to still do that. That's one thing I took from that is learning how to live like that, finding the beauty and the joy in all pieces of life.
Yeah, you know how the easiest way it is, okay? Connect with your soul. Connect with the innate intelligence, the wisdom, and the power of your soul. Like I said, I've got no more fear. Now, connecting with your soul, some people can do it quite easily. Some need more work. It took me a long time to come to this point.
Yeah.
Right? You set the intention, you'll get your answers how to do this.
So then even when we talk about dealing with patients and clients, and we're also saying teaching them how to do these things. You know, whether it's just having gratitude each day, making a gratitude log, being appreciative.
100%.
But I think we have to do it first as like practitioners, as doctors, as nutritionists, as coaches. We need to have that ability in ourselves, so to teach them to as well see those things, right?
100%. I agree with you with everything except for one word.
Okay.
Have.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we never have to do anything. That's something I've learned. The privilege of our existence is free will.
And people will say, "Well, come on, man! If I don't walk, I gotta stop at the red light."
Well,
you don't have to.
You don't
can
have
get
to
run
deal
over,
with
right?
consequences. Also, you have to pay your taxes. Go. No, you don't. But wisdom teaches you it's important to be wise with this. So you still have free will. You choose. That empowers you, right?
I had a client. I just to hop in. Alyssa and I were just talking about a client I had, and if she's listening, she's beautiful. I love her. And she was having challenges with her digestive system, and she's like, "Really, Ken? So like the Furious 5, wheat, day, corn, soy, sugar, alcohol my whole life?" I go, no. It's now's not forever. It's never. I remember someone told me that. I go, it's not forever. I go, but you do have to make. You don't have to do anything. You have to choose what you want to do. You just said you're feeling in pain. You're feeling horrible. So what are the choices that align with that then? And that may make your choice of not having the Furious 5 easier if you're in alignment with feeling better, right? So it's just, you're not forced. It's not from me. I'm not here as a practitioner or as a coach to say, you can't do this. I don't tell people.
Well, I'm the same. I always tell my patients, I'll never tell you to do anything. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to motivate you. And I'm here to hold space for you, right? And well done for you, because think about this. Most of us have been conditioned to receive commands, to be told. Most of us don't do well with that. But once you kind of bring the awareness to your client or your patient, that's, hey, you've got free will. All I can do is share you what I know, give you the tools, and really remind you how really powerful you are, right? It's interesting because you were saying something about transformation and all that. When I started losing control of the cocaine, and again, it's had the desire, helping the world, bringing love and light, and then of course I go deep within myself and thinking, okay, what's going on? I'll tell you what came into my life. A beautiful saying from Lao Tzu, a very well-known Chinese philosopher. Let me see if I can get this right. If you want to remove all the suffering from this world, remove all the suffering from within yourself. If you want to eliminate oh my God. If you want to if you want to remove all the suffering from this world, remove all the suffering within yourself. If you want to eliminate the pain, then remove all. I can't remember how it goes. Did I say that?
Yeah, the sheet's right here.
Okay, give it to me, bud. Let's go right here. Let's be humble. I'm all excited.
Right
Okay, right here. Watch this. Right here. No, watch this. Watch this.
Okay.
If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you can give is that of your own self-transformation to the world. When that came to me, again, that's divine intervention. I'm losing control and I have this desire to help the world. But I also need to understand my own truthful medicine.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think and kind of saying on that note, we're going to kind of wrap a little bit, saying that the best thing you can do is giving yourself your own transformation. I believe as coaches, practitioners, doctors, whatever, if we want to really help our clients, patients come to a better place, it starts with ourselves.
100%.
You know, as we are our clients in some extension, I would say. So as we learn our own way, we will help them find theirs.
And if I can share some wisdom too, because I've come across a lot of practitioners that feel very guilty that they think they're not worthy enough to hold space for their client or the patient because they're going through their own healing journey. I go, no, that's beautiful. Share that with your clients and your patient. That will connect with them even more.
I used to feel that all the time. And be like, man, I got to hide the fact that I have all these food challenges and everything else. And then once I started opening up and realizing that was bringing my expertise into me, my suffering became my enlightenment. Then I was able to help more people. My mom always said that. That's the cross you need to bear. That's the journey you need to go on so you can help others. And then I let other coaches know that because a lot of coaches feel that way. Geez, you know, I'm struggling with my weight. How can I help them with this? Or I'm having thyroid issues. How can I coach them on it? I go, that'll become your expertise. Why do you think we're great in gut health? I said, because my gut health has had some serious challenges.
One cannot share wisdom without these life experiences.
Wow.
Well done for you.
That was like a mic drop right there. We didn't drop the mic because it's an expensive mic, but that's kind of, I think we're going to kind of circle on to that. Now, my brother, if people want to find you, How do they find you? We could talk for hours. I think I got to have you back again. So I'm going to have you like a million times. There's so much more to talk about.
I look forward to it, and I thank you for that. Ironically speaking, it's interesting. I've been very fortunate. It's all been word of mouth for myself in Truthful Medicine.
I know.
And it's a blessing. And now we're in the midst of taking Truthful Medicine to the next level. And the website will be released towards the end of November, truthfulmedicine.org. Mm-hmm. And my personal email is truthfulmedicine@gmail.com, right? And for those who have an inner desire to get a hold of me, please do so. And if not, we will kind of come back together in this beautiful opportunity like we have today.
You know what? This is, like I said, we could talk forever about stuff. I'm very appreciative of you making your way and taking your time out of your clients or patients' schedule to come and do this.
Oh, buddy, it's beautiful.
So, yeah.
I love you, man.
I love you, brother.
I love you too. That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna circle off. Thanks for joining in today. Like I said, if you want to find out more, just basic things, again, coaching and understanding how to help the body heal. You know, you want to find out more of those things, step into www.transformationmentorship.ca. Okay, we have a cohort starting next year in February. A better way of looking at the body from a holistic standpoint, holistic transformation, which is more than just food and working out, supplements, lifestyle, mindset. All these parts are things that we will teach you in that cohort. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. I'm Ken. This is
Adonis.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you.
Take care.